Could you share with us how you see science and faith interacting with each other in the search of truth? And what common ground do they share? And what can one bring to the other? Thanks.
Thank you so much for asking that question. It is a passion of mine. It is something that I've spoken about a lot, and I'm always delighted to keep speaking about it because there is this pervasive and growing, unfortunately, misconception that science and faith are at odds. I'm especially acutely aware of how true this is in America. Perhaps the students in the audience will have a better sense for what the landscape is like in Taiwan. But it's a very unfortunate trajectory because if you look at the past, right, and especially if you view through the lens of individuals and not so much institutions, right, science and faith have actually long been very productive co-laborers, if you will, in the pursuit of truth, right? And Dr. Chang, you alluded to the same in your question. And there are many, many examples of this. So Mary Anning, some of you in the audience may know, she changed the way that scientists think about prehistoric life. She was a devout Christian, right? Yeah. Or Johannes Kepler, who established the laws of planetary motion. And there are many people, not just from the West, but from the East. And these are scholars whose work was motivated by a strong belief in a loving God of order and creativity, right? These people, they didn't just kind of fall into science. I mean, they were actually driven to science because of an insatiable desire to learn about and then celebrate together with others, the creative God. And whatever the scientific lens happened to reveal to them, it didn't push God outside of their worldviews. Instead, it just gave them a window into just how much more amazing God is than they had ever previously appreciated. Right? I really think, and I can give you many examples of this if you're interested, but woven throughout Scripture is a core truth that at the heart of creation is God's joy. Joy is really central to me when I think about where science and faith meet, right? I think God has been taking an immense amount of pleasure in his creation from the very beginning. And what's really cool is that humankind seems to be that unique slice of creation that gets to delight in creation right alongside our creator.
Yeah.
I just, we uniquely, we get to peer into and make known what Scripture calls the manifold wisdom of God, and to draw near to God's joy in that experience of creation. And for me, at the end of the day, and Dr. Chang, perhaps you experienced this too as a scientist, this is what the scientific enterprise is about for me. It doesn't take away from my humanness. I actually find that it encourages it. It persuades me every day to be open-eyed about all the overabundance of created things, the vastness of the created order, right? The diversity and complexity of biological life. I mean, I think we're meant to explore, to wonder, to be in awe, in a way that I don't think any other animal is, however special each of his created things are.
Mm-hmm.
I really think a lot of it is there simply because God enjoys it. And as humans made in his image, as I was alluding to earlier, I think we're called to discover it and enjoy it too. Johannes Kepler said, I'm just thinking God's thoughts after him, when I make scientific discoveries, right? There's a sense of taking deep pleasure in creation that I think strongly links my experience as a scientist and as a Christian. There's a quote that comes to mind here that I'll end with. This quote is actually from an atheist. Okay, his name is Henri Poincaré. He's a really brilliant French mathematician from the 19th century,
Mm-hmm.
happened to be an atheist, and he said, the scientist does not study nature just because it is useful to do so. He studies it, and I might add, she studies it, because he takes pleasure in it. And he takes pleasure in it because it is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, although he was an atheist, I think he could not escape this feeling that humans seem to have a unique privilege
Mm.
of experiencing wonder and delight and beauty in nature. And I really think this is where science and faith, they actually meet as friends, not foes.